I never called anybody a liar. I am into the commandments, and if I think maybe you don't know all of them, I might tell you that you go to hell for lying the same as stealing. And that usually they catch on. Now, there's some people that don't. That they can't pick up on nuances and things like this. McElrath would be one of them. Now, I was asked to talk, and so consequently, you're going to listen. I'm not saying this is going to be popular. I don't really care. I think it has to be said. Today, I'm going to talk first to the students. And you're all younger than I am, basically, so you're all in that category, whether you like it or not. Today, we are celebrating what certain of our students, our players, have accomplished in bringing Christ into their world, into our world. These students have taken virtue and their concomitant qualities and cultivated them, brought them to bear in the world around them. They were, in fact, Christ for others, seeing Christ in others. While the trophy and the awards are here, they don't enrich any one of the kids. They don't. The kids enrich the trophy. People don't understand that. You don't choose or compare yourself to the next man and embrace into your life. You don't gather your quality from applause. I want them to know that. It's nice, but it's just meant to say we have people out there that are really good. While the trophy awards do not enrich you, they are and should be a signal to each of you that leadership attends you. People are curious about your accomplishment. Your work made you stand out among the rest. A leadership platform is now in place. Not everybody gets that platform. We need leaders. We need leaders. And to be more specific, we need a particular type of leader. Not someone who shouts into the camera on national TV, a news program. Truth is not truth. And no one flinched when they said that. It didn't occur to him or to the reporter that if he really believed that, he wouldn't have made the statement. It implies truth. He cannot be a leader, but he was. Another supposed leader declared to the world a few years earlier that those are facts, and then there's alternative facts. Or to put it another way, facts are not facts, which would be the implication. Denial of truth is an extremely pernicious, deleterious, dangerous human position. Where's the morality, a U.S. senator said, after one more mass shooting? Nobody ventured an answer. These statements or questions unanswered tells you that we need leaders. Leaders that study, live, and prize truth, virtue. This should be one of the fruits of a Catholic school. For you, that should be 4 years of being required to learn about, live, and exemplify morality, a particular Catholic morality being Christ. Our country is in dire need of integrating the reality of God into our culture. Our country is in dire need of integrating the reality of God into our culture, which always was our American culture. This is said to clarify that difference between the present state and what was initially intended by our founding fathers. That is what I have experienced most of my life. We and you are people particularly positioned to right the ship and ground our society according to our intended foundation. When I was a kid, that's a long time ago, God was in every area of my life. I was born in 1939. God was important to the farmers. And in 1939, farmers were approximately 25% of our population in the United States. I grew up around farmers. I know what they're like. I was a city boy. We mocked them at every step. They were always nerds. Weren't clever. Didn't dress like the guys from the city. But they were virtue-oriented, extremely. That being said, we don't have that today. We have blue laws, mainly from the Protestants. But nobody worked on Sunday. Nobody. Half a day on Saturday, maybe. On Sunday, everybody went to church. Lutherans, Presbyterians, Christian Scientists, Baptists, they all went to church. Society was a little different. Etiquette, manners, all demanded. Now we have mass killings. Didn't have that. Didn't have that. I can't even remember one. We have mass killings up until last week. We've had one a day in this country. Plus one. How? How? Real estate. My dad was in real estate. What happened to that market? Now, that was maybe 10 years ago. I can't remember exactly. At the same time, Wall Street goes upside down. Why? Why? Government officials attacking truth? Nobody in my time tolerated that stupidity. And it is stupidity. We need this reversed. This award ceremony says you've got people's attention. So what are you going to do about your message? What kind of message? Who's a linebacker? Are you a linebacker?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I like that. Did you hear that? That was yes, sir. That's Catholic school.
That's good parents.
Well, it was until you joined that group. Do you want to keep on going? This award ceremony says you've got everybody's attention. So what's your message going to be? We need a moral-based culture. Will you lose the opportunity to leverage your followers, your fellow students, their teachers, your priest? You are just beginning. Keep the ship steady and on course. You are in the lead in this arena. Improper motive or interest will kill the foundation. We need leaders who have deep moral conviction, that love it, decide by it, work towards it, and fight for it. This being said, this is not to worry or terrify you. It is to say, you boys have accomplished this in a very unfavorable arena. It is to say that we, who before you had a very blessed time, finally seeing you an answer to our prayers. It should give you challenge and faith to continue as it gives us hope. That's the first speech. The next part is not so good, but you're going to listen.
Yes, sir.
That with a capital S? Okay, I got to find it here. Okay. For those of you who might be squirming in your seats, like, what's he going to say? It's going to be a challenge. Do you like it? I don't care. This would take effort, as it should. You heard me talk about Catholic school. And we are presently seated in this town with the biggest parish in the diocese by far. And they have a school, which we've always said is very important and very valuable. They have a gym. They have a playground. It's all empty. It's all empty. How does that happen? How in God's earth does that happen? I want you to think about that. But it's going to take all of us and more to change this. This is not something that comes from the Chancery office. I have nothing against bishops, nothing, or pastors, nothing. But we have to do something. That's our biggest parish. They have thousands of families more than the very next parish, and their doors are closed. Now, if it's true that we have the right message, and we know the wrong message is out there, then why are we letting this go? I believe it was I know I'm a football coach. I understand that. But I do read. It's labored, but I read. And Mr. Weir, he's out there someplace, I don't know. He's got the beard. It's fake, but he's got a beard, all right? I believe it was in the Third Council of Baltimore in 1852, 53. And they had a statement in there by the Archbishop, the lead Archbishop in our country. And in that, there are several things covered. But on Decree 13, it makes a comment about, I want every parish to build a school. And the parish will fund it. I want you to think about that. Now, you think it can't be done. Where's Mr. Weir? Was it Wichita? Wichita, Kansas. There was a priest in Wichita, Kansas that did not like what was happening. And he went to his church and on Sunday said, from now on, there will be no more tuition at our school. Our parish will underwrite the school. There will be no tuition. Now, if you think about that for just a second, at St. Boniface, which is the biggest parish, it has an extremely poor parish. They had to close their doors. They didn't want to. They had people crying the day it was closed. Why? So, you people, I want you moving. I want you moving. If you need somebody to come in and insult you, I'll be glad to do that. This brings me to a related topic, I guess. Who are the first Friars? Who are they? Faith without works is dead. As I was talking to the 4 or 5 guests who are honored, did you hear, as I was talking, the idea of the need for morality and virtue? You don't get that by reading books. You don't get it by sitting in a class either. You get it by working, putting that faith to work. These are not taught deliberately in our public schools. We need the Catholic schools, and we need them open. We need them open to all in the parish. And when the parish funds a school, that means every poor kid gets to go to that school if he wants to. Imagine that. How many kids do we just push off to the side, or families off to the side? I'll pick all that junk up later. All right? How many? That's criminal. That's criminal. Now, I'm a little biased. I understand. When I was 19, the assistant pastor wanted me to go take census in a community that was on the edge of the parish called Manzanillo. Nobody spoke English in that. Nobody. This is 1959. Not one. So I was forced to learn a little Spanish, which I'll grant you is clumsy. But those people couldn't afford to go to a Catholic school. When I came back to the States, I asked my superior, who was one of the priests out of St. Michael's, I want to go to a ghetto. I want to go to Los Angeles because I do not understand how to relate to the black culture. I lived in a house across the street from St. Stephen's Church for about 5 months, all by myself. There wasn't a white guy within a mile of me of any direction. Great people. Great. The mothers were fantastic. They didn't get to go to Catholic school. Think of that. That's got to stop. If the poor are eliminated, why would that model Christ? We need all of the children in the parish to be welcome, regardless of anything else. America needs that huge expression of virtue, learned, lived, and championed. I still maintain you go to hell for stealing, the same as lying. All right, thank you.